By the way, I did use the official email to get the free Prime trial to rewatch this movie 3 seconds ago.
So you're already profiting off of this
That's correct. 'Cause I
endeavor.
was like trying to do it on like a definitely not illicit site, and it was like,
Yeah.
please update your Flash player, and I was like, I don't know if I actually need to update my Flash player if this is just gonna like tank my $3,000 computer. So
Out of curiosity, is this a tax write-off?
is that a wine glass full of water?
You know it is, boy.
I know this is not a visual program, but that's a wine glass full of water.
Welcome to They Done Goofed, a movie podcast where we watch movies that frustrate the other person. I'm Josh.
I'm also here.
I'm Josh, and I'm not alone. And today we're talking about the terrible, 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 terrible movie, Lighthouse.
Oh, it's so good, Joshy.
This
It has
movie,
so many things. It's got layers. It's got like way more explicit homosexuality than I thought I was going to get going into it.
it's got massive amounts of jizz. It's got accents that are impossible to understand.
That part is rough. I will give you that one right off the bat.
It's got fish titties.
It's got mermussy.
It's got mermussy. It's got the wettest ass pussy you ever done saw.
It's wet. It's in the fucking ocean. It doesn't get any wetter. I was thinking about how we're going to do this, and I'm like, I can't show this to SMAD people because, like, they're all douchebags. Not all of them, but just like the film bros that I go to school with. This is like just gonna be us ripping into a like objectively pretty good movie. And they'd be like, well, you just didn't get it. You don't understand.
Well, did you see that welcome to did you see that post that was much funnier than both of us, where someone was like, films that I wished I liked, Joker, and then someone was like, some movies you're not supposed to like.
Oh man, Joker could be another thing we do for this channel because I haven't seen it, but I know I'll hate it. Because you saw it, right?
Yeah, and I have the worst Joker take, which was I thought it was a little boring, which is not the take most people get from it.
Because most of it, it's just, I heard it was We Live in a Society, the movie, but it dug not even a little bit deeper than that.
Oh no, it is surface level. You know you're fucking in a society, my dude. You're living in a society.
I actually wasn't aware until now, so it's good that I have that film. Thank you.
Also, rich people exist and poor people exist. But that's not the movie we watched today.
No, it's not. We are good at this.
Yeah. This is gonna be, for those of you listening who also listen to my brother's friend and me. This is my second movie podcast where I don't
movies
like
you don't like.
I've never watched a movie I've enjoyed.
Oh.
Except The Prince of Egypt.
That's really great.
That's a good movie.
That's a good brand to build yourself on, is like, I watch horrible media.
So you don't have to.
Yeah. You're doing that's why this is a tax write-off. This is a public service.
Yeah. Everyone give me $20.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Oh no, Bella.
Much like Bella Thorne, I will be doing no nudes.
Just
my naked takes. My bare takes.
Laying it all out.
So why do you like this movie?
Well, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Robert Pattinson mustache. Good.
Robert Pattinson mustache. Okay.
That drew me in, because when I had a dear friend of mine recommend this movie to me and was like, if nothing else, because I like scary movies, you do not.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I would call this a scary movie per se, but like, it's uncomfortable to watch the entire time.
Some movies you're not supposed to enjoy. And
you're not supposed to enjoy this.
This is definitely one of those. Oh,
yeah.
This movie did not frighten me. And
no.
If you know
were you
me,
viscerally upset the entire time you watched it?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah!
It was an unsettling experience.
I love that. I love to sit down and be like, oh, for like an hour and a half.
Okay, so like Robert Pattinson has really been winning me over lately.
Right.
Cause like I love, what do we talk? We like a little crust. You gotta have a little crust on you.
I love him in this movie because like that mustache is bad, and like the Amazon Fun Facts told me that he had to dye that, which is hysterical to me. Because like I guess it's like blonde when it grows in for real, so they had to like dye his mustache.
Another important, when I opened this movie, and I was like, oh.
Well, the
cool.
first thing on my list is, how do you feel about being a big black and white square?
It's not just that it's in black and white; it's that it's a big old square.
Because like, this is one of those movies that like when I started it, I was like, I'm going to very much enjoy this. Followed immediately by the thought, you would hate this. Because it's pretentious and like I didn't, I guess, remember this from the first time I watched this. No one speaks for like the first 15 minutes of this movie.
Oh no.
It's 15 minutes of like we're walking around on a hill.
Nothing happens for the first hour of this movie.
It's set up. You're getting a vibe and a feeling.
If, to quote you, that's cool for 15 minutes, but eventually you gotta get to the point.
It's like 10 minutes. It's perfect.
I felt like this movie kept looking at me and going, you see what I just did?
It is.
Do you see it?
Occasionally heavy-handed.
It's occasionally?
I guess the problem is I go into any movie like this where I'm like, because people were like, this movie's kind of gay. And like, I've been raised on the internet, so people say, this is kind of gay. I'm ready for like Supernatural, in which it is not at all, but like everyone just pretends like it is. Yeah. But really, this is a bunch of heterosexuals. This movie was really kind of gay.
This movie did have some very, and like
right from the beginning, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be entirely subtextual, is it? Because then like, this isn't my plot thing. It's a little later down on my list, but who cares?
Yeah.
He nuts on him.
Oh yeah. I was watching this movie.
I don't know if everyone who's listening to this has seen this movie, but if you would like to watch Willem Dafoe nut on Robert Pattinson, I have great news.
You know there was someone who didn't know that was their kink until
the Lighthouse, self-discovery, a journey.
Also, an outrageous amount. It's like,
I remember when I watched that and I was like, I have to like quadruple check the internet to make sure that's what liquid I think it is.
Yeah.
I texted my friend who told me to watch this and was like, is that sperm or pee or saliva or none of the above? And it's just like oil and I'm a gross person. No, it's sperm.
Yeah, you know what would help figuring that out? If it wasn't in black and white.
Why? Because that would have changed the color of sperm? Go to the doctor.
No, but you would have known instantly if it was urine or oil or goo.
It was goo.
It was so much goo, man.
It's extremely funny.
It was an outrageous amount of sperm.
This is an extremely horny film.
Oh yeah, because Robert Pattinson shows up and is like, I am here to fucking nut and kill birds, and I'm all out of birds.
Which is like, I had forgotten this as well, because like we both watched this movie over a month ago, and we're just now talking about it.
Yeah.
So I had forgotten a lot of things, like how he walks Willem Dafoe around on a leash at the very end of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's the freaks from the mall who didn't get bullied enough in high school.
We makes him walk around on a leash and bark.
Yeah.
Also, Willem
Dafoe,
had that
coming.
Bad boss.
So I think Willem Dafoe is, if you take nothing else good from this movie, like he's phenomenal in just how deeply he commits to being an insane, disgusting man.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good in this movie.
Oh, but at the same time, he was born for this role.
Oh, absolutely. I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't, believe it or not, I don't agree with what the opinion I'm about to give.
Oh, God.
But I have seen...
Gay people, am I right?
Willem Dafoe is sexy in this movie?
No!
I've seen that take. I just wanted to...
Alright, don't get me wrong. Willem Dafoe is a great actor.
Yes.
He has a unique face.
Yeah, and I'm like normally not opposed to that, so like I could get how he could be hot in a movie, not this one.
In theory, I understand how Willem Dafoe could be sexy.
Yeah, like I get it, and I think I respect it more than anything else. But
you know, he does have a powerful nut, though. It's just an outrageous.
Super sperm.
He's got so much. Like he's got a super soaker down there.
I can't believe we talked about this scene for that long. Good for us.
I want to keep talking about it.
Oh, I would love for you to.
That's too much nut. If you nut that much, see a doctor.
They didn't have any doctors. They're trapped on an island. That's the movie.
Oh, right. We should probably talk about the plot of the movie.
This movie is two guys on an island and
two dudes being dudes.
They're just guys being bros. It's like what, 1890, 1920, somewhere between those years.
Back in olden days.
It's back in the olden times. I love. Sorry, this isn't the plot. That it's in black and white, as we have said. They're like in like yellow Gordon's fisherman jackets. We just don't know that.
Oh, that's so good, bad. All right, plot of this movie.
They're not in a lighthouse, actually. That's false advertising. They're on an island.
There's very little being in a lighthouse.
No, because that's the whole thing, is that like Willem Dafoe's like, I am so phenomenally horny for whatever's up here at the top of this lighthouse that I will not let anybody else in here. And Robert Pattinson, in his like very strange and specific New Englandy kind of accent.
Oh my god, the accent.
I love it so much. It's extremely hot. It's so good. But he's up in he's like, I want to go up there and do that instead of doing like grunt work downstairs. And then they go insane because they get like trapped there, and like maybe there's a storm that keeps them there longer than they're supposed to be, but also maybe not. I don't know. It's ambiguous.
Bird's fault.
There's like a lot of gaslighting and like a very, again, totally not heavy-handed metaphor where they're like lighting gas lamps. So yeah, and then do we spoil the ending of these movies here? Do we care?
I don't need the lighthouse.
I have to ask about like the end too. He kills the shit out of that old man.
Oh yeah,
he beats the shit out of him and then buries him like almost kind of halfway alive.
Yeah.
Then proceeds to go up to the top of the lighthouse, sees the light, which like is a fun part of this movie that I'm not gonna explain well. Then he falls in the stairs and dies. And then birds eat him.
Yeah, which
and there's mermaid pussy somewhere before this. Sorry, I missed that, but it's there.
I'm a big fan for like, I'm always a slut for Greek mythology. So yes. I enjoyed the like Prometheus getting his like liver eaten out by a bird. That's fun.
Yeah, I totally picked up on that as well.
Mm-hmm. $8 million. If you can tell me why Prometheus got his liver eaten out by a bird.
Did he kill an old man? Or is that too on the nose?
Oh my god, you got it. Holy cow. No, he stole fire.
He stole fire?
Yeah.
How does what? I have... You know you can just make fire.
Not back then. You had to steal it. Where are you going to find it? Yeah, so...
I don't know. You've got me. I can't make a fire.
It's very difficult to make a fire. Yeah, so that's the plot of the movie. And in it, God, it made me so mad, man.
I do have more points that we can go back to piss you off if you'd like.
Yeah, lay them
on me. So I
did
big square black and white. This is also in my like...
I have to say, it's okay if you want to make a movie hard to see. It's okay if you want to make a movie hard to hear. Don't do both. I don't want the Helen Keller experience. It was terrible.
This is going to be bad because I love movies that are either older or like in this older looking style in which it's, and like also kind of creepy where you can't see or hear anything. Because like, I don't think you follow me on Letterboxd. I watched Silence of the Lambs recently, which was a great
follow
time.
People on Letterboxd?
Yeah, you can. Which was a great time, but like my air conditioner's loud as fuck.
Yeah.
And Anthony Hopkins is not.
No.
it was a problem. Because I put the subtitles on, and for anyone who's like, everyone's seen that movie, it gets really close in on their faces. And like, it's supposed to be these really cool shots where like, you're like fucking right here on his eyes, and it's like what he's saying across his forehead kind of kills that move. Yeah. Lose-lose situation.
I just, like, there was no point in watching the movie where I was like...
I thought that was the end of that sentence.
Yeah, there was no
point in watching the movie.
There's 0 point. Where I was just like, God, I am so happy they're speaking in this stupid accent. Man, is that good for me right now?
So you know about where my hearing is at?
Yeah,
it's not great. I, as I previously said, may or may not have purchased this movie the first time I watched it. I may have stolen it from somewhere, perhaps.
Yeah.
Did not have any subtitles. And this was a rough time for me. I didn't know like what he was saying at all. I was just like, and it doesn't super matter is what I learned, because it's just like old man sea gibberish.
How good would it have been?
Which I also said he should have won an Oscar for this performance. And it's a little contradictory that I'm saying I also didn't hear him at all.
How good would it have been if the actual dialogue is...
It truly could have been, but like it was effective. I was like, ooh, he's spooky. Let's see what I got over here. How did you feel about the loud ass siren noise every 12 seconds?
Oh my god, I loved it. Loved it. For those migraine havers, that just makes you feel so good inside.
That part was rough for me as well, just because my TV is right up against a wall. I'm in an apartment, and like, I've said this, I could not hear what they were saying, so I turned the volume up to like 57 when they would talk, and then it'd go, grrr, but I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry, people who live next to me.
But you know what this movie would tell you? That's the point.
Yeah.
It's
supposed to be loud. It's disorienting.
Yeah.
It creates a mood.
Yeah, it does. It surely does create
the mood is pissed off.
Yeah. Upset. Why though? Why?
Why this movie? I love this movie. Like, genuinely. It's not too long. It doesn't jerk me around. It's just fucking an hour and a half of two guys going nuts on an island. It's wonderful.
If this had been a short film and it had been 15 minutes long, I would have agreed.
It is. That's another thing I wanted to bug you about was like, it's paced in an interesting way. In that, like...
I almost said, no, it's not.
In that, like, truly nothing plot-wise, besides, like, just the setup for the movie and the mermaid, happens for the first hour. Nothing really starts happening until he beats the shit out of that bird.
It really... Yeah, because I remember texting you, hey, is this supposed to happen?
Yes, you did say that.
Because nothing is.
It's a slow go for a little bit.
That's a word for it.
It takes a little bit to get, but it's built up. You don't go insane overnight.
Again, 15 minutes, and this movie would have been
15-minute student film, thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, you cannot tell me that this didn't feel like a student film.
It totally did, because I've seen some student films. Everyone who goes to school with me thinks I'm a horrible bitch now. This is the second time I've dunked on Smash. Which is wild because, like, it's the only thing I will prop up about this institution.
Not the parties?
There's a pandemic.
That's a good point, yeah.
There's a pandemic.
Yeah. For those of you listening in the future, hi, my future students. This is being filmed during the coronavirus. So we're all kind of going on our own little Lighthouse journey, aren't we?
Yeah, going nuts in isolation. Me and Hayden are gonna beat the shit out of each other. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm the Lighthouse.
You are the light. I didn't know if this was mean. You watched this movie before coming out.
Yeah.
Did this like hinder that process?
I think it did.
It couldn't have helped.
It slowed me down, much like how you liking gross men kept me from coming out. This really slowed down the process for me.
That's fair.
So that's the second thing you've done to me that's kept me from coming out. So
you're welcome.
Homophobic?
Oh, intentionally.
Yeah, your mom.
We're cutting that out.
Yeah.
That's a little like robot voice that goes, "I am not a homophobe," right after you say that. Well,
we both are gay.
Yes, that's correct. And therefore allowed to make jokes about being homophobic.
Therefore allowed to be. Yes, I'm gay. Yes,
I'm
homophobic.
Okay, not even a joke. That's what this movie's about.
Oh,
Robert
yeah.
Pattinson's gay and homophobic.
Yeah.
Because that guy
1,000%.
You know how like it's like I killed a man and I took his name and I.
What was that? What was that plot point?
Well, that was I thought super neat. Because that's why he got. It's like why his like everything's fucked up and he can't. Like he's clearly fucked up from the beginning of this movie.
Oh,
You're like there's something wrong with this guy. It's because he was in love with the guy and couldn't deal with it and killed him.
Oh, I didn't pick that up at all.
So that's just again not like 100% textual evidence for this, but it's like if you're reading the movie in that way, it's very much like there was a guy, and the whole movie is like that too because he freaks out at the end because it's like he's so lonely that he's like I'll Willem Dafoe. Which we've been there. We've been there.
Listen, we've all dated straight men.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been there.
Because they almost make out. They're dancing and they're like, I'm gonna make out with this guy. He's like, I'm disgusting. And he can't deal with it.
Oh my god, the noise I made.
Yeah. That was when I was like, oh, no one's messing around with this movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was where I went, maybe it's got a point, because that's a bold take.
Yeah, and then, like, isn't Willem Dafoe's face, like, on the mermaid at some point, like, some weird dream he has, and it's like...
I think it is. Oh my god, I had destroyed that part of my brain to live. To survive.
Yeah, it's an extreme... Like, yeah, so I read that as, like, there was a dude, and, like, I don't know if they did anything or not, but, like, Robert Pattinson had gay feelings, couldn't deal with it, and killed a man with logs. Then ran away to Maine, I believe this movie is in. That could be totally not right.
Oh my god, I legit thought it took place in England because I just couldn't understand their fucking accents the entire time.
No, he's definitely... I think I have that backwards. I think he was in Maine doing the logging. Yes, he was. He was. And I don't know where this island's supposed to be at. I'm assuming New England area somewhere.
Bermuda,
Jamaica. Oh, you're terrible. Bermuda, Jamaica. Oh, I want to take you to Bermuda. Oh, I love that song so much.
It's such a good song. I wanted to play at my funeral.
It was one of like the first songs I knew all the words to because I had like Kermit singing it on DVD or no VHS. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was that long ago. Yeah, isn't it really? Kermit the Frog may be transgender. What else did I have over here? Okay. I had plot things. We've kind of gone through the plot.
Yeah.
Violently, overwhelmingly homosexual. Logs, birds, murder. Those are like 3 separate points.
Mushy. We gotta talk about the mushy.
Oh god, that's such a strange part of this movie.
So.
Because she's the only other character.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Because it's just the two of them. Just the
Michael,
two of us.
You did teach me correct. This does not pass. For more song-based humor, press 4. Plus 4. Michael, you'll be proud of me for knowing this fact. This does not pass the Bechdel test. It
sure doesn't. You can't pass the Bechdel test when there's one woman in your movie.
To be fair, women do make up 33% of the population, so it's representative.
It took me like a little bit too long to be like, oh, this is a joke. This is a jokey. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Josh, do you think you got that stat mixed up?
I'm not sure that's right.
So Robert Pattinson is so unbelievably horny that he jerks off to a carving of a mermaid.
Yes, and that's very funny to me. Because, like, he's very clear. I think they make it pretty apparent that he's not thinking about that mermaid carving.
No. It reminded me so much of church camp that it's not even funny.
Go ahead and elaborate on that. We're bringing the 2 podcasts together, I believe.
Yeah, it's just the last year I went to church camp, puberty had kicked down the door like the Kool-Aid man.
Praying for you.
And the rooms that you have at church camp are filled with 30 boys.
Right.
And 2 men. So there would be many a night with like 4 a.m. And it's just slide whistle up and me staring at the ceiling. No, not even the ceiling. The bunk bed above me, where another boy is sleeping.
The lighthouse. Did you just need to talk about that?
I understand his horny feelings.
Oh, and you're just like alone and there's nothing to be done.
Unlike
because like they were like in close quarters too, so it's like, why did they just? I think.
Why didn't they just fuck?
No. Well, I mean, that's also an option, but I don't think it would have helped anything. Why did they just put his bed in another room? I feel like this movie wouldn't have been quite as bad. I think they might have made it to the end if they just put his bed in a different room.
Even in the kitchen.
Yeah, like any other place.
Or
I think this movie could have been solved.
Let's call him and tell him
Black hole.
We got him. Yeah, we solved the movie.
So I'm going to repeat to you something that I've told you already. You know what I'm gonna say, right?
I think so, but
that initially in the pre-production phases of this movie, the director's intentions were to make the Lighthouse a big penis, and the movie company were like, no one's going to see this little black and white box movie already, and if it's NC-17, absolutely no one is going to show up. So they wouldn't let him do it.
It leads me to so many questions.
Well, it is one of those things where, like, we've already complained about this movie being, like, heavy-handed.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have helped. So I think it straddles the line right now between, like, is it, like, way too... I think it straddles decently. And maybe that's just in comparison to thinking about the fact that there could be a big phallic symbol. There is a big phallic symbol, but, like, not a symbol.
I am never, ever, ever gonna let you say a Marvel movie is too on the nose ever again.
No, because that's not my complaints about Marvel movies. My complaint about Marvel movies is that, like, capitalism.
That's fair. That is fair. If your complaints about Marvel
movies... It's the propaganda and the capitalism. I don't care if you're having a good time.
Listen, I'm just saying a rich billionaire is going to rescue us all from our problems. All of our pleb non-superhero problems.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is Robert Downey Jr., who is Iron Man.
You saw me complaining about Mr. William Gates and his cake last night, correct?
I did enjoy.
This podcast is being filmed the day after Warren Buffett's unfortunate 90th birthday.
Why does he get 90?
I don't know, because there's no God.
Because either God is dead or he doesn't deserve our worship.
Yes.
Oh man, we have talked about many things that aren't this movie on this movie podcast.
I knew it was going to be like this, though.
Yeah.
Like I knew this was going to be like probably 60% The Lighthouse. And that's just a segue for us telling funny stories.
Is there anything else about this dumb movie you want to talk about?
So I asked you, was Willem Dafoe hot?
Rapid fire.
We talked about the accents.
Bad.
The turtleneck overalls combo Robert Pattinson wears in this movie is the sexiest thing that's happened in the past 5 years, correct?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's quite. I don't want to even give you like an explanation. No.
Are you sure?
The only way
he's like hot Arthur.
So Arthur?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a furry for those of you who don't.
Let's see what else I got in here. Did you have any thoughts about the ending of this movie? I want to know what your take on, like, there's some weird power up in the light. Or was that just, like, they're nuts?
I would have enjoyed it, again, if it were 15 minutes of build-up.
That's not my question.
I know, and it would have been cool. I'm going to talk about what this movie should have been, which is 20 minutes. It's like a Disney short before a Disney movie.
Oh,
like,
that's been a great Disney short, you're right.
Oh my god, could you imagine if this was, like, in front of, like, Inside Out or something?
I never saw Inside Out.
That
I knew it would make me upset.
Why you can't process emotions. But, like, it just... I'm okay with it being like, is it some spooky thing, or is it just him going insane? Because my take is he tripped and died, and that was it. And the director was like,
this movie does leave, I feel like, a good thing that it does. There's a lot of like ambiguity with like, why did things happen? Like, you see things and you're like, is it this? Is it this? Was he gay for Logman? Is there a weird power up in the light bulb? Is that mermaid really there? Like,
who thinks the mermaid is really there?
I love that I can sit around and interpret and just think about it.
Who thinks the mermaid is real?
Someone.
There is someone. If you think the mermaid is real, like, comment and subscribe.
If you're a person who thinks that there's some weird power in the lighthouse, it wouldn't, like, completely blow my ass out of the water if you're also like, and the mermaid's real. Like, okay.
Okay, this movie, I think, had a bad ending because it came out of absolutely nowhere. And could have led
No, it didn't! How did the ending
Why was he on a rock with a bird eating him?
Because he kills the bird earlier. The bird gets to eat you now, beach. The fact that he died, you mean to tell me you didn't foresee him dying at the end of this movie?
I did, but I thought it would just show him tumbling down the stairs and, like, breaking his neck or something.
You were the one that was like, I love a mythology reference. I love a mythology reference.
I do like a mythology reference because it makes me feel smarter than the movie. It makes me feel like, I got it.
This movie's about two guys going insane and, like, gradually hating each other more and more, and you're surprised by the ending in which one of them kills the other one, and then the big scary light, which we've been leading up to there being an issue with the entire time, kills the other one.
No, that's not the part that, like, came out of nowhere. It was
that's the ending.
On a random rock, having a bird eat his kidney.
Yeah, he crawled until he couldn't crawl no more.
Which is my favorite Phil Collins song.
Pussy Rock?
No, she was on a beach, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, she was on a beach.
I don't know
if you forget the mermaid pussy.
Well, I guess she like, you know, beaches in, like,
yeah, I'm aware.
The north, they're like rocky.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can we do Rocky 4?
Yes, can we? But that's a good movie.
You've seen the controversy with Rocky 4 right now, right?
I've seen what?
The controversy?
No, what's up with it? Is
Sylvester
it where he fights with terrorists?
Sylvester Stallone is doing a, like, director's cut, or, like, I don't know, did he direct that movie? A Sylvester Stallone cut.
Okay.
He's getting rid of the robot because he wants it to be a serious movie.
Is that the only thing he's changing?
I don't know. I don't believe it's been released yet, but he was just like, I've got to get rid of this. That's what's holding Rocky 4 back, is the robot.
Honestly, I haven't, because robots scare me, so I haven't watched it.
You've ever seen Rocky 4?
I have definitely seen it.
Okay, I was going to say, like, our parents are the same age-ish. We've seen Rocky 4.
We get the Zack Snyder cut, and now we get the Stallone cut? What?
Yes!
Look at us. Yeah, this movie sucks.
This movie's a good movie. If you like...
Pina coladas.
Yeah. And, like, being upset.
Lost in the rain.
You don't know the words to any song.
Nope.
It's Caught in the Rain.
Making love at midnight.
I love that this podcast is equal parts you hating movies, but also, like, me schooling you on dad music.
Yeah,
like,
you are.
God intended.
If we combine our powers, we are the ultimate dad. Yeah, so you like this movie? I don't. I
do enjoy this movie. If you like kind of ugly white guys, stuff that's a little bit upsetting to watch and listen to, and, like, heavy-handed symbolism, The Lighthouse, and also this podcast.
Yeah, so
yeah.
That's the end of Lighthouse talk. I'm now going to just talk to our audience for a second. How y'all doing today? No, so this podcast is going to show up randomly, and we're just going to throw stuff on our channel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, we're going to have a cryptid fight podcast, a baseball podcast when we don't
eventually
hate baseball.
Baseball's rough right now. Like, the trade deadline was today. There's so much to talk about, and I don't care.
I don't either, and like
I can't bring myself to care about it, and I'm like in a baseball shirt right now.
Same.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll have a baseball podcast eventually, probably next season. Like, not even joking.
Yeah, probably. And also, if you have any like questions, just in general,
no one does.
Yeah, it's just about life. We've always wanted to do like a question answer podcast.
It'd be really fun for us.
Until we get questions, it's just sad.
It is. We can't like Google like frequently asked questions on like websites because that's tragic. That's so upsetting.
So if we get like 20 or 30, we'll make like a special episode.
That would be fun. So you get to pick the movie next week. Or next time we do this. It's your turn next. Because I know what I'm doing for my next one. I've told you. I'm
so tempted to do Kingdom of Heaven and make you watch a 3-hour movie.
I've done worse. Just know that if you give me a 3-hour movie, I'm going to give you a 4-hour movie.
I think I want to watch 300 with you.
I've never seen 300.
You've never seen 300?
No. This will be like entirely new for me. So if you want to do that, that'd be fun.
All right, yeah, we're doing 300 then. Oh yeah, I'm not spoiling it. It's gayer than this.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I shouldn't say what I'm gonna do, but I told you what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is just kind of bad because it requires us watching 2 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only one of which is kind of good.
So I hope you guys enjoyed. Do you have anything you want to plug, like a Twitter or like other?
I'll just drop everything in like the description of the YouTube video.
All right. Well, thank you, whoever has decided to listen to this.
Yeah, I'm sure Hayden will go in and like pity like it, and that'll be about it.
That's all we need.
That is all we need. Just the one. Yeah. I'll be like, Hayden, you got any pressing questions? And like all of our questions will just be from Hayden. I'll get Hayden really baked and he'll like give us some content.
It'll be your brother, my girlfriend, and like 2 of our Twitter followers that pity us.
Yes, that's correct.
Our fan base. We need a good send-off.
Do we?